Be My AI isn't always it's not always accurate.
It's always like the picture is blurry. I'm like, oh my gosh,
like I had
take another one.
I had my daughter writing her name, and her name is Zanaya, and it told me that she wrote "I am rich," and I'm like,
what? Oh my gosh, we got a card from our neighbors one time, and we were scanning it with Be My AI, and it was saying some crazy stuff like my truck was here, and like all this random stuff about a brown truck that had nothing to do with what was in the card. I was
That's
like,
wild.
what? It was just making up stories, like legitimately.
So you can't really depend on that.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Babies Down, Bottles Up. We've been kicking for like an hour or something, and Danny fussed at us and told us we have to record the episode. So here we are. We're so happy to have you here with us.
Finally started.
They're probably like, why the fuck is he still here? No.
We're wondering that too. Shit.
You petty, Taryn. You petty.
But we have a fun episode today. We're bringing the energy. We know that we've had a lot of informational episodes go out recently, so we wanted to do something a little bit more fun and upbeat. So we're doing a little bit of like a social media type thing today. Don't worry, we still have some info that we're going to talk about, but we are going to start with our socials. Our social queen, Keisha.
If you don't know by now where to find us on social media, I'm going to come have a talk with you. But just in case you forgot, I'll go ahead and give you the scoop. So you can find us on all of the social media channels at Babies Down, Bottles Up. They're all in the show notes. A couple of them have different variations, but it's kind of still the same. And don't forget to find us on Patreon. We have been recording some really good content for Patreon. That's why it took us an hour and a half to actually start tonight. Very spicy.
Okay.
So if you want to know what size cups someone has,
wait a minute.
Hold that. What?
That's lies. Don't tell them that.
Danny, cut that.
Y'all need to go
Just
follow
kidding.
us on Patreon. Come on. Y'all can spare $5. Y'all can skip Starbucks for one day. Okay.
Only one.
Only one day. And if you have any feedback for us, email us at info@bdbupod.com. We love getting your emails, especially the ones who are sending information in about their favorite episode for our giveaway that actually ends in 2 weeks. So if you haven't put your name in the hat, you might want to go ahead and do so. We really appreciate you guys. And next week, I'm going to come on and read one of the emails. So y'all remind me, because y'all don't have a really bad memory. But I think you guys should hear some of the cool things that people are saying about our episodes. So email us, info@bdbupod.com. And don't forget to follow us on all of our socials and subscribe to Patreon.
Make sure to have your entries in by September 15th. And we're going to go live on September 20th to announce the winner of our little goodie basket. So very exciting. Is anybody drinking?
Bitch, no. I was drunk all weekend.
Yo,
so
She's
I'm
still drunk. She's still drunk.
All weekend. I was going hard, yo. I was
Me
drinking
too.
tequila heavy Friday and
I should have been.
I was on
drinking all
Everclear
weekend.
on Friday.
Oh my
see,
god.
that's a whole nother level.
Everclear?
That's a whole
Everclear
nother
is
I
level.
woke
God.
up drunk still the next day.
She brought it back to the
She's a
college
fucking
days, yo.
thug.
Sure did.
Nah,
It was a
Everclear.
little kid birthday party that turned into an adult
Damn.
birthday party.
You know that is not a
Everclear
little
is
kid birthday
crazy.
party if you're not drinking Everclear.
Oh, come on.
I know.
Y'all, that was
The kids were like,
excuse.
we want some punch. We're like, no, baby, not that one.
This one has vegetables in it. You wouldn't like it.
It's spicy, baby. You don't want it.
Y'all are crazy.
Not Jocelyn's liver just screaming for help.
It is.
Bruh,
woke
I'm
up,
thinking
Need a
to myself,
detox.
When I
For real.
first saw
Jamel was
Everglow-
telling me that like he could smell it coming out
Oh,
of
I
me.
bet.
out of your
So I'm like
pores.
sweating it out of my pores.
Everclear
It's
is
gross.
crazy.
I've
That's
never
what I
had
used
it.
to bring in a water bottle to school because they'd be like, "Oh, only clear bottles." I was like, "I got you." Okay,
I've never drank
Understood.
Everclear, and I don't plan on
Oh my
it.
gosh, like gasoline.
Yeah, it's bad.
No, I
It's
saw that
bad.
shit disintegrate a plastic cup, like a solo cup.
Okay, don't
Oh,
say that. I'm
shit.
trying to stay alive.
Imagine what
I'm
it's
so-
doing to her
and I was, like, and I literally was
know.
thinking, like, imagine what it's doing to your insides.
Ooh, I feel it too.
Well,
You're disinfected for real.
right?
Yeah. So, anyways,
What
not
are y'all
today.
drinking? Who's drinking?
I'm drinking. Oh,
Hey, go ahead, girl.
I finally got Buzz Balls.
Hey!
I
Which
got
one?
I got a strawberry one that I'm sipping on now, and then I have an apple one waiting
Ooh,
for
the
me.
Let's
apples
go.
are
How do you feel
so
about it?
good.
So it's good, but I don't feel anything.
Not
Oh,
yet.
just
Don't
wait.
worry.
Just wait.
Really?
Yeah.
Knock you on
I'm,
your
It's
I'm
gonna
still
sneak up on
waiting,
you.
and I started like.
Oh, well,
when
you're
we
not
got
Did you
on
get the big
fast
bottle or
enough.
you got the little
The little
buzzies?
ones.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
need
Aw.
to chug. Come on, let's go.
Yeah. You're not drinking fast enough is what it is.
Right, you're not
Bad
drinking fast
influence. Okay.
That's what I'm here for. What are you drinking, Taryn?
Okay, so I learned some science about wine, and
boy.
apparently, if I have to throw some science in there, but apparently, if you drink wine from grapes that are grown at high altitude, it has way more antioxidants. So I don't think I'm actually drinking at all. I'm just having a multivitamin. So I'm drinking this like Colorado wine, and it was made with mulberries. It's actually pretty good. It's a red wine, but it has like a little bit of sweetness. It's good. I got it from the Big Bear liquor store. So I'm trying to get them to sponsor us. I really am.
Big
But I'm
Bear.
having a little vitamin. Big Bear, yeah. Well, of course,
Good
you
for
know, it's
you.
got to have like stuffed, like taxidermy type things.
Of course.
It's kind of, yeah, of course. So it's delicious.
nice.
Sounds healthy. Good
Yes.
for you.
Yes.
What's the calories
It's a
like?
Oh boy.
The calories are set up just like any red wine. So it's usually like, I don't know, 120 calories per serving, which isn't crazy because like a shot of liquor is like 75 calories. And that's just if you're just raw dogging life.
I
Just
can't talk
taking
about
shots.
shots right now.
Oh boy, she's having flashbacks.
Yeah, it was bad.
Just gives her a headache just thinking about him.
Yeah.
Just like no.
She doesn't feel well. Well, let's get started on our social media episode. We're going to talk about posts on like social media, TikTok, whatever. Danny's going to read them to us or play the TikTok, and we're going to talk about it.
This one says, men love more sincerely than women. I'll explain if I'm forced to, but I don't think I have to. Women are literally socialized to fall in love. We will damn near try to fit anyone into that role. Men are socialized to not. LOL. Plus, they gain nothing from it, in a sense. When women find a man, they find rest, weight off our shoulders, because he's here to provide and protect and solve all of our problems. But when men fall in love, they gain a liability. Now they have yet another thing to be responsible for, provide for, think for, stick their neck out for, etc. Shit don't sound fun at all, and yet they do it anyway because they love you.
How do we feel
Women
about
always a
that?
liability. I mean,
Yeah.
Reckless ass women.
They must not have met the right one then, because I don't know how I feel about that.
I think in traditional roles that probably
Maybe.
is the case, but not every man is out here providing and fucking doing all
Yeah,
that shit. Sometimes that's the
70%.
woman's.
Yeah, 70% of households, like they're dual income. So both partners are
providing.
working. So
Yeah.
maybe
Right.
back when it was just the men that were working and the women were at home. Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe. But that's just not really the reality right now. The way the economy is set up, you need both people working. So I don't know
Yeah.
that you can really say that. And there's so many single women who are in relationships. Like just because you're in a relationship does not mean that you're not carrying the full load on your own.
I agree. And then nowadays, the way these women are set up, like women don't allow men to think for them. There are a lot of independent women out there that can hold their own shit. So I don't agree with that. And maybe it's because I'm like that. Like, I don't need a man to think for me. Like, I will ask you for your opinion, but that doesn't mean that I'm going to go through with what you suggested. I don't know.
Okay,
You don't
that-
think that their love is more sincere?
Yes.
Nah,
I think
do.
so.
I don't know.
I do too.
I think so too. Yeah, because I think as far as like the protecting, I think like that's a big deal for a man, and I think like as women we do expect to feel protected by our men. I don't know, maybe y'all don't, but I do, and I think
I do.
that's
No,
very
that's-
common. Yeah.
Yeah, it's common.
And so that can be a lot of pressure on a man and a lot of responsibility too, especially if you come with kids or whatever, you know. So that also has to be acknowledged. I do think that your love has to be really genuine and sincere for you to go
When
into.
I saw a marriage counselor and she was talking about like the 3 dynamics of couples that she sees in marriage counseling. And there's only 2 dynamics that work. There's the dynamic where both partners, and this is in heteronormative relationships, where the husband and the wife or the man and the female, they both love each other equally. That works long term. It also works long term if the man loves the woman more than the woman loves the man. That usually works long term because women have this fierce like sense of loyalty. However, the dynamic that does not work long term is if the woman loves the man more.
I agree with
Because-
that
I can see that.
100%.
That's why my mama always said, "Find you a man,
man
that loves you more,
Loves you
than
more,
you
yeah.
He's
love
got to love
him."
you a little bit more.
Yeah,
He does.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I could
So,
see that.
I don't know. Maybe that's a little, it sounds a little toxic, but it's so true. It's so true. When a man loves you, he's going to do anything it takes. Like,
Yep.
that's why people say if he wanted to, he would, because it's so
Yeah.
true.
My man's obsessed with me. He would give me the world. He thinks that the sun rises and sets with me. And I think that's part of
That's
like
his
why
shit.
our relationship works. I mean,
Mhm.
come on. Have you met me? But
Not yet,
also
but I'm about to
believe-
fuck around and find out.
Yes. I also believe that there is that saying that behind every strong man is a strong woman. My
Yes.
husband's in the military, and unless I was supportive in the way that I am, I don't know that he would have achieved everything that he has, because I make sure that this shit at home is taken care of so that he doesn't have to stress about
Mhm.
certain things, so that he can focus on other things, because he was just gone in the field for several days. I didn't see him at all. I didn't talk to him very often, but he knew that everything at home was going to be handled. So we take care of each other in that way so that we can both reach our fullest potential possible. But I will tell you, when he got home, I was so thankful, because it is stressful knowing that no matter what happens, it's all on you. That's a lot. And I'm sorry, but if somebody's outside of my house and my husband's home, I don't have to worry about that. He's going to handle that. And I do know that does give him an extra level of responsibility and stress that I don't have to deal with. So I appreciate that he's there.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, yeah. I really do think that's great. But I do agree. I think that you definitely need to find a man that loves you more. Find you a man that'll take you home to mama, even if his mama don't like you. He still got
Look.
you.
The thing about it is, though, I feel like love goes through phases too. Like, sometimes you feel like he loves you more, and then like long things happen, long-term relationships, just there's ups and downs. And I feel like sometimes that like things change,
I agree.
It's
The
an
way
ebb
that they
and
show their
flow.
love
Yeah.
changes.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
That's true.
Love evolves, right? Like when you've been with someone for so long, it's not like this heady, like especially at the beginning, where like
Always the honeymoon.
I know it's
Yeah.
like everything is so fun and exciting and everything, but like there's something to be said for comfort and like knowing that you can count on someone when you've been with them for so long, and
Yeah.
And knowing what
Sure.
they need. Like my husband and I have been married for 11 years, over 11 years now. And even just today, he was, I don't know even what he was doing, but he needs physical touch and words of affirmation. So I made sure that I came up behind him while he was doing some work on the couch, and I put both of my hands on his shoulder, and I kind of leaned over to where I could speak softly. And I just told him how much I appreciate the fact that I can take a nap in the middle of the day and I don't have to worry about the
Aw.
kids. I get to take a bath every single
That's
evening. I don't
sweet.
have to worry about what's going on. He makes sure that I can do that. So I needed to make that physical touch with him and then speak softly in a way that he was really listening. And he needs that from me. That's not something I would do naturally on my own. Like that's not the way my brain works personally, but he's told me that's something that he needs. So it's also like being plugged into what makes your partner feel loved and appreciated.
For sure.
I also wanted to share this, from a man's perspective, is that it would show that men love more just because of how hard it is for a man to be vulnerable in the first place. So if he is willing to be vulnerable with you and you break him, it hurts more, because a woman's always going to find peace in someone to be vulnerable with. But like for a man to even open up to somebody enough for your husband, right, Taryn, to be like, these are my love languages, this is what I need, and this is how I take it all in. That's really important. And I think that really speaks to how much a man loves someone as well.
Yeah, read the love languages book, take the quiz with your partner, and know, because also the way you give love may not be the same way that you receive love, and the way you give love may not be the way that your partner receives love. So it's very important to know those things about each other, because if not, you may be thinking, oh my gosh, I show him love all the time. What is he even talking about? But he may be like, okay, you buy me gifts, but I don't give two flying fucks about you buying me gifts. So the way you're showing love, they're not receiving that.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's put the link, if we can, in the show notes. I think that's like a great tool to use.
I need to
follow us for more relationship advice.
Right? We're no experts.
Well, hold on. I think people that are married for 10, 11 years can talk their shit a little bit.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
I think they can.
Yeah.
All right. You guys want to do the next one?
Yeah.
Yeah. We have a TikTok next.
Yeah.
That for women who can't see, pregnancy tests aren't actually accessible.
As an OB-GYN, I am a little bit ashamed to say I've never even considered this, so thank you for making that video, but we need to talk about this. This really got me thinking. Aside from the obvious issue with inaccessibility for vision impaired people being unable to essentially access a pregnancy test privately, can you imagine a scenario where someone is vision impaired and needing to take a pregnancy test, they don't have a trusted person in a state where abortion is illegal and a contentious topic? Like, you're relying on somebody who you may or may not fully trust with your health information at baseline to give you information that could wildly impact the rest of your life, and who also may now report you to the authorities. This is a real problem, and I don't have a solution, but I'm glad that this person has started the discussion, at least the first time I've seen the discussion. So go watch their original video and let me know what you think here.
So I love this lady. You can follow her. She's Mama Dr. Jones on most platforms, but she's an obstetrician gynecologist, and she gives like very great information about pregnancy, birth control, sexual health, and things like that. So that's why I wanted to bring this TikTok to the podcast, because I don't know about y'all, but I use things like Be My Eyes all the time as a person who's trying to conceive. I use them all the time for like pregnancy tests and ovulation tests. And it's always in the back of my mind that, if that test is positive, I'm not finding out like in a confidential or like a private environment, which is kind of difficult. Like, you can't process that just personally in your own time.
Yeah. So when I was pregnant the second time, I knew right away, because I already knew like how my body reacted. So I was kind of taking the test just to confirm, and it was really early. I was like 3 weeks along at the time, and I went and got and it's a specific test, like a specific brand of pregnancy test that you have to buy. It's the clear blue. Yeah. That's compatible with the Be My Eyes app, and
what they consider the specialized help.
Specialized.
Yes, and so you go on there, and they say it's a representative from Clear Blue, but I don't know.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. And so I took the pregnancy test, and called someone and was on the phone with her, and when she told me it was positive, I mean, for me I was happy, but I also felt like I had to have a reaction for the person telling me the results. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't like I couldn't just sit there and be like, wow, I'm fucking pregnant.
Yeah. Yeah.
take it in by myself because I had to still like, okay, well, thank you. Like, I don't know. I felt like I had to convey to them whether it was good news or bad news.
I had the same experience, except I don't remember which test I used, but I did use Be My Eyes to find out if I was pregnant with Zanaya, and I kind of had an idea because I mean, I hadn't had a cycle in like a month, but I wasn't for sure. So the first person I called, she was like, "Oh, I can't see it. It's really blurry." I was like, "Okay, thanks." So then I hung up and I called again, and it was a guy, and he was like telling me that I was pregnant, and he was like, "Congratulations." And I'm sure my face fell because I was not trying to get pregnant. And it was a shock to me, and I couldn't, it was kind of like, he's like, "Congratulations, I think." And
It's
I'm
just
like,
so awkward.
yeah. And I didn't know how to react because we weren't ready for another kid, you know?
Yeah.
And it's a
But it's a
blessing.
complete stranger
Yeah.
knowing whether or not you're pregnant really before you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically.
And when you find out that you're pregnant, it's something that you're never going to forget. And so for the rest of
Mhm.
your life, when you think of, oh, that was the moment, you have to think that you shared that moment with a complete stranger.
Not your
Yeah.
husband, not your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, when I found out that I was pregnant with Zane, I used my sister on FaceTime. So that was a little different. And it was more personable because as my little sister, we're really close. I would have told her first anyways. So it's different. But I'm talking to some damn dude.
And a dude on top of it all.
Yeah,
Oh,
from who the
no.
fuck knows where.
Not Andrew from Nebraska.
He's
Yeah.
telling me I'm pregnant, and it's just like, and it was right before I went to work, and that was how I started my day. And I just remember it being so awkward, very uncomfortable, and very emotional, like for me.
Yeah.
That was like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I found out about both of my kids very, very, very early. And it just was like, wow.
So
I was freaking out a little bit. So I've tried using Be My Eyes, and like the first few times that I tried it, I went into like that specialized help, clear blue, whatever, and then I'm calling, nobody's fucking answering, and I'm like freaking out, of course, because I want to know. So I'm over here calling Aira because
Mm.
I'm like, I just need somebody to look at it now because it was
Yeah.
like it was like a I don't
You
know.
have to look at
testing.
it within a certain time
Yeah,
period.
before it just gives
Dissolves.
you a random result or whatever.
Right.
Yeah, so I was like freaking out and finally got somebody on Aira, and it was really awkward because I mean they're very professional, right? Like they're trained
Right.
to do things like this, but like still, it's a random
Mm-hmm.
person that you don't know, and they're very professional. Like thankfully it wasn't awkward for me, and I never had the camera on me. Like
me either.
I always
Yeah,
had
me
like
either,
the
yeah.
camera just pointing at the result. So even if I had like a certain facial reaction or whatever, like they never even got to see my face basically. So it didn't matter.
Yeah.
I hold my emotions in
So-
my voice. So they
Me too.
Yeah,
would've
so I mean,
known.
I was just like, okay, like thank you, whatever, and hung up as quickly as possible.
Yeah,
like,
get off the fucking call.
yeah, because I'm
Almost
just trying
hang
to
up right after
Yeah, I'm
Don't
like,
even
that's
say
it.
thank
Bye.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
before anybody says it, yes, you can use like Be My AI to read like a digital pregnancy test, but like I take a lot of pregnancy tests, and the digitals take so much more HCG to turn up positive. So a regular line test is going to show positive days before digital, and sometimes you want to know as soon as you possibly can. So before anybody is like, well, just take a digital and use Be My AI, but that's still not
It
guaranteeing
doesn't matter though. We
that that's your
deserve
privacy.
we deserve to choose what kind of pregnancy we take. And we deserve
Yes.
to do that, you know, privately, and to know the results privately, and to celebrate or be disappointed privately, and not feel this pressure of, oh my God, are they looking at my, like, not
not
to
only-
measure your reaction, you know?
But not only that, Be My AI isn't always the right. It's
No,
not always
it's-
accurate.
It's always like the picture is blurry. I'm like, oh my gosh, are you kidding
Like,
me?
I had
Take
my-
another one.
I had my daughter writing her name, and her name is Zanaya, and it told me that she wrote, "I am rich," and I'm like, this is-
What? Oh my gosh, we got a card from our neighbors one time, and we were scanning it with Be My AI, and it was saying some crazy stuff like my truck was here, and like all this random stuff about a brown truck that had nothing to do with what was in the card. I was
That's
like, what?
wild.
It was just making up stories, like
Yeah. So
legitimately.
you can't really depend on
Yeah.
that.
No.
And then even the people, like there's no guarantee that what happens in that call is going to remain confidential.
Whenever we did the podcast the first time around, we actually were part of this article about this exact same thing. And it was about this new technology that they were trying out, where it was a pregnancy test that was going to be a talking pregnancy test. It would tell you the results. And I think it was through Clear Blue as well.
think
Or maybe
so.
a different. I'm not sure.
Oh,
but
was this something in Europe or something? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like I read something about it. Yeah.
Yes. And so, I mean, that would be a beautiful solution to be able to have women be able to do that independently. But then also, like, the other thing that we didn't touch on is, how dangerous that is not to be able to have the anonymity to be like, okay, well, I'm pregnant now. And now people know that, even if it is like a stranger from another, you just never know. And maybe you're not using an app to find out. Maybe it's, like a family member or somebody that would feel some kind of way if you decided not to keep the baby, or just
Or even your partner, because you are most likely to be abused or even killed by your intimate partner when you're pregnant. That's when you're most likely to be harmed.
Right.
Yeah.
So when she said that it's not safe because these people can call the authorities on you, I never thought about it that way because of don't even get me started on this. How women's reproduction is not even in their hands anymore, but you don't know who these people are. You don't know
what their beliefs are.
Right.
You don't know how they feel about the woman's autonomy over their own body.
But not only that, you don't know how they feel about you being a blind parent.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Yeah, you don't know how they feel about you being a blind parent, and you just don't know who to trust. And I think that that's one of the reasons why we should have more privacy when it comes to getting our test results as a pregnant woman, because you just don't know what type of person you're going to run into.
Bottom line is you should be able to have the privacy to process, to make your decisions, and take the time, all the time in the world, to be able to make whatever decision you choose, because it's your body, your choice.
Right.
In 2024, I mean, if there are self-driving cars at this point, like, we should really have an accessible pregnancy test.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's
wild.
Mm-hmm.
And the next TikTok that we have really shows this for sure, because you just don't know what somebody's going to turn around and make a TikTok about that tons and tons of people are going to see.
Guys, I am deceased. So I just received my first call from the Be My Eyes app. For those of you who don't know what that is, it's an app that you can sign up for, and people who are visually impaired can call you and ask you for help doing tasks and stuff like that. It's a really cool concept. I've actually had an account for a few years, but there were so many people signed up that I'd never gotten a call until tonight. Of course, I got super excited, and I was expecting your typical, like, oh, do you need me to, like, read instructions for anything or pick a color? Nope. This girl straight up goes, so this is my boyfriend's cell phone, and I want you to read me the names in his call history. I'm like, excuse me. And I could tell she was agitated, so I had to be like, oh, can you, like, move back a little bit? It's blurry. Then I started reading out the names, and sure enough, there was this one particular girl that he had called numerous times, and she was not happy about that. And I really wanted to ask to get, like, the tea on the whole situation, but she hung up before I could say anything. So I'm glad after all these years I was finally able to help someone, but it wasn't the type of, help that I was expecting to do.
Okay, first of all, I want the tea too, but
don't we all?
Wait, hold on. She said she was deceased.
That's what oh my God, Keisha, I'm so glad you said that, because I was like, did she really just say that? Deceased?
Yeah,
no, that's what the kids
like,
are saying.
dead.
It's like, I'm so
I know
dead.
what it
Like,
means.
I get it, but like, what? Deceased? Okay.
Yeah, that's what the kids are saying.
I get it, I'm
She was
dead.
saying, but I'm just like, I've never heard anyone say I'm deceased. I'm going to start using that.
Oh, they say it all the time.
All all the time.
I've
I'm gonna
never
start
heard-
using it.
This is
Yeah, I
how
don't get tired of
uncool
it.
we are, Keisha.
Right?
No,
Apparently.
It's just because
yo,
we're on Twitter.
I never, facts, because I never send words like that anymore. I just send the coffin.
I
send
said
Yes.
the skull.
Oh, the
Skull.
skull. Yeah, I send the skull. I don't ever-
Deceased is just so much harder
Deceased.
to say than dead. Come
It's
on.
fucking
Taryn used
long.
to say she expired. I like
Yes,
that
I
too.
expired.
I expired. Or I'm expiring. Like it's in the
no.
process.
Dead is one syllable. I'm gonna keep it that way.
I do like that girl was excited to help somebody.
I do
really do
too.
enjoy that. Like she
Okay,
was
how excited was she to go on TikTok
Put
and
her
tell
on
people
blast?
this cheating story though?
Right.
Like,
Damn.
I mean,
she had
it
the music and
sucks.
everything.
I know.
She was too chipper for my. That's what made it
She
too
was.
uncomfortable,
That's what's
yo.
worse.
She's
You
too
know, she
happy
had a
about
ring
it.
light set up and everything. She did her makeup. She's like, this is
She
gonna
was
get so
ready.
many views.
Like probably 5 seconds after the fucking call ended. Let me tell you
I'm
about.
mad she put her on blast.
Yeah, I feel so bad for the
Mhm.
blind person that called Be My Eyes, hoping that she found out the truth about her cheating ass, scummy ass boyfriend. But also, she deserves the privacy to have a breakdown on her own and not social
Yeah.
media to know her whole story. And I mean, she didn't like say any details, but people around the girl are probably gonna know.
Oh,
That
yeah.
was her. Oh my god, that was her.
Yeah.
Well, and that was also could have been the worst day of that girl's life. And
Yeah.
somebody's like,
Yeah,
oh
and now
my
it's
gosh,
entertainment.
listen what happened. This was so crazy.
Can you
But
imagine being the girl
meanwhile-
and finding the
Yeah.
video
Oh,
online? Oh,
Yeah,
that'd be a
how would-
punch in the gut.
I would.
And
feel
people are getting
so-
enjoyment from it.
I would feel so embarrassed. Oh, yeah.
I'm just trying to
Oof.
figure out what kind of phone he had because
Yeah.
It was an Android. He sounded lame.
Yes, you know,
I
it was
don't want
Android.
those Android dudes.
Yeah.
you should have left him anyways.
That's a red
Texting on
flag right
green.
there.
If you want to date me, your phone's got to be accessible, mom.
Yeah, right.
And you gotta have triple tap, okay?
Okay.
Have that voiceover shortcut on.
Yeah, you gotta
Don't
let
play
me.
with me.
You gotta let me set it up.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
on date number 1. Okay.
My husband's phone has got that little triple tap on there.
Hell yeah. With
That's
quickness.
crazy.
Yeah, how did she unlock it and like get past to
I mean,
like?
she
He
got to the
probably
ball
felt
line
like
and
he probably felt like he didn't have to have a passcode because he had a blind girlfriend.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
everybody has a passcode.
You are not marked safe.
You're not marked safe like a hurricane.
If you want to know the information, you're gonna do everything to find out, yo. That's just what I always.
That's
And the
the
sad
bottom
part
line.
too is that for her to have gone that far, she knew.
It's
'Cause
a
she even
gut
knew, like,
feeling.
Of course.
We're looking
Yeah.
for Julie's name in the call log, and if her name is in
Oh
here,
no,
it is
not
bad
Julie.
news.
It's
Yeah,
verified.
it's
yeah.
definitely a Julie.
Oh shoot!
And
that a
she's
Karen?
big back with bad breath.
Not a Karen.
No, you know what? Our running joke on my wife and I's podcast was Nina from Guam, because we always say like there was one girl in Guam who was like the gas station attendant, and that was the hoe, the town hoe.
Oh,
You know, she was the island hoe. But I talk about like small town hoes, but Nina is always a hoe. They're like pretty, they're very beautiful women, but like they're promiscuous typically.
I was about to
Like-
say Nina sounds bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back.
Ninas
You
are
know,
bad. Ninas
Speaking
are
of
fine.
people
Yeah.
who date, so
Yeah.
did anyone ever tell you guys, and I apologize in advance, but someone told me when I was growing, or not when I was growing up, that if you know a girl named Shirley, she's always fat. And I think that's very rude.
Shirley?
Oh,
We
Oh,
apologize
how
to all
often-
the Shirleys.
How
but
often do you come
I
across
hope
a
there are no
Shirley?
Shirleys that listen.
If you're a big back
Yeah.
Shirley, hit us up.
I don't think we're in the 1990s anymore. I don't think we have to worry about Shirley's anymore.
Better yet, if you are a fine ass bitch and your name is Shirley, I send a picture.
Please.
I know
Send a
one.
picture.
I know one, and she's so cute and beautiful, and like she's the
Aw,
nicest, sweetest
that's
lady.
sweet.
Justice for the Shirleys of the
Right?
world.
Oh my god!
I was like, that is so disrespectful to anyone named
Do you know a
Shirley.
hot Gertrude?
Ew.
Oh,
I mean,
my
that
cat's
name
name
isn't
is
hot.
Gertrude.
I was gonna say, that's like an animal name.
Yeah,
Gertie?
my kitten's
Trudy?
name's Gertrude.
Gertie, Gertie.
Trudy.
Oh no.
Trudy.
Gertie is disgusting.
Gertie.
I call her Gertie. I call her Gertie.
Why did you guys name her Gertrude?
I love that name. I love old lady names.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let's get back on track.
I'll have a daughter named her Opal. Fuck with me. I will.
Oh no.
You'll name her Mildred, Barbara.
Not a Barbara. Jeez.
Damn.
Okay, let's get back on on
topic. I'm sorry.
on
topic.
Oh, gosh. Let's get on
What?
Y'all are unruly.
Topic.
Let's get on topic, okay? Jeez.
Okay, I'm ready. Where
Okay.
No, we're not.
I just think that if you are out there making TikToks about someone's worst day, you should be ashamed of yourself, especially if you're putting on the music that says talk about it. Like,
But you know what though? They probably never considered that girl might be on TikTok and might
Because she's
find
blind.
this
They're
at some
thinking,
point.
oh, she's too blind to be on TikTok.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
she needed help to look at her call log. She
Yeah.
definitely
Can't
can't
get
get
no
on
TikTok.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
that's fucking messy. But I do want to know the tea. So if you're the girl behind the TikTok,
If you listen to our podcast, please
We're gonna bring you
email.
on the episode.
right?
we're
Tell
on your
us-
side, girl.
Tell
We
us
are.
how you unlocked the phone.
And please tell us, do we need to fuck up Judith?
Right?
'Cause we will.
Wait, what was his
Wait, I
name?
thought it was Julie.
Oh,
what was-
Julie.
Oh,
That was the name?
No, we don't know.
No, I don't know. I
okay,
just
y'all
made it up.
making it up.
I
Like, y'all know
totally
something I
thought-
don't.
yeah, right. I totally thought it was Julie.
We
No,
ride
no,
it, Dawn.
Fuck Julie.
We do.
Julie.
Heels and all. We got you, boo. Come on.
We have offended like half of our fan base.
I know.
Episode alone.
It's not about you guys.
All right, y'all are a
Love
bunch
y'all.
of disrespectful assholes. We have a whole other post to talk about before we lose all
It's
of our
all out of
listeners and
love.
get canceled.
We've missed each other.
We all said y'all wanted to be fun. Here we go.
All right, I'm ready. Next
I'm
one.
ready.
I'm not.
Karina's like, I'm not done yet.
Shit.
Hold on, let me mute.
Sir producer, are you ready?
I'm always ready.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna
Stay
tell us
ready
how
so
to
you
fuck
don't
up.
have to get ready.
No, I would never do that. I love
You
y'all.
did a few minutes ago. What do you
I
mean?
know.
No, because
I felt-
because you guys would start complaining
I
about
felt
being up for too
chastised.
long, and I didn't want to hear all
I need
that.
another
Don't
buzz
talk
ball.
about the grandma.
Can we
Oh,
take a
Oh.
yeah, miss.
Yeah,
this
go
buzz
get it,
ball ain't
girl.
hidden.
All
No, it's
right,
not.
all right.
I think so. I think
Uh,
it was hidden. Okay.
Giggly Gertrude over there.
Oh hell no, not good.
With Gertie.
Giggly
Gertie.
Gertie. Gigi.
I'll be back.
Oh, God. We didn't say we were on intermission. What the hell's going on?
Oh my god. My face is hot.
And we aren't even drinking.
I know.
This episode's gonna buzz, yo. I'm telling you, this is
Like,
the
I'm
type
like,
of
what the
stuff
fuck is
people
wrong with them?
want. I'll be like, this should have been a Patreon.
Right.
Okay, we were overdue for a fun episode.
I haven't had a
Do
drink
it.
in a while. Okay.
It's
let's go.
Labor Day. Okay, let's go. All right, Danny.
Taryn has business.
I'm seeking advice for a delivery I'll be having soon. I have 3 kids, 14 boy, 12 boy, 9 girl. My kids really want to be in the room during delivery. My husband and I are both apprehensive about letting them. We are open with the kids and they freely talk to us about changes with their bodies and things that they need. They understand privacy and that mom, dads, and doctors are the only ones who can help them with personal things. This baby was planned and we let the kids be a part of the discussion. They are very excited and we have been planning for a baby the last 2 years. We are a very close family and open with each other, well behaved and mature for their age. The doctor already said that they are welcome to stay in the room the whole time. What are your opinions on letting them stay in the room? Staying to the side? By the upper end of the bed? Have them walk to the bathroom bathroom in the room or walk outside while it's time to push. Of course, if we decide that they can stay, they'll always have the choice to walk out if they decide that it's too much for them. And that's the end of the post.
So I saw this in a local moms group, and I was like, I don't know.
That's
I
a
don't know.
hard
I feel
no.
like that 12 and 14-year-old are gonna be traumatized. That's
Right?
life changing.
I don't care how comfortable I am with my kids. I don't think
Yeah.
I would want them there.
I don't either. That's a hard no for me.
Not at 14 and 12.
No.
Well, see, I'm
boys.
different. I would want them there. Like,
Really?
I think what I would do, because I think it's a beautiful thing. Like, it's life, and it's the circle of life, and I think it's beautiful. But what I definitely would do is make sure they understand like the stages of labor and like what's really going to happen, and maybe watch some videos on YouTube of women giving birth, because obviously things are going to be censored out. You're not going to be seeing no vaginas, and have them watch that, gauge their reaction, and based off of that, like have lots of open conversations, but also talk to them about the fact that childbirth is very dangerous for women, because you don't want them to be afraid if something bad goes on. But think about the 12 and 14-year-old when they become fathers, and now they're not going to be afraid when their partners give birth. So I don't know. I'm in favor of it.
I don't
and
know
think
about
if
Or
that.
it could be the best birth control for them in
control
their
ever.
life.
Period.
It could
Like,
be.
I don't know. I feel like I mean, more than like a traumatizing experience, like I don't need my kids seeing all the things, you know?
I get
Yeah.
that.
Like,
The way my
I think
labors were
it
set
just
up,
has to depend on the person.
Would
'Cause
it be
also
different
some-
if they were all girls, though? Would you
Yes.
feel different? I think I
Yes.
would feel different.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah,
And maybe
if
it's
all
because-
girls.
Son.
My oldest is a girl. All my kids are girls. So, you know, a lot of women when they're in labor get very, very hot and take all their clothes off. I don't know that I wouldn't want my 12-year-old son to see that.
Right.
So
like
I get
for,
that
like
part.
with my girls, like I walk around naked and it's whatever. But like if I had a son, I think there'd be an age where like I'd be covered up all the time. Like it's just not. I
That
don't
makes
know.
sense.
I'm
I don't
not
have
that
sons.
open, I guess, and we're fine. We can talk about anything, but you know, my kids don't need to see me with my titties out all day.
I don't
Yeah.
think my kids need to see me busting it open and
Like everything,
and
Yeah.
something coming out, like
and you're gonna have to hold back because your kids are in the room, and like you're already like going through so much crap.
And
Yeah.
while you're
it's
in
scary.
labor.
All the fucking
Look,
sounds you're making, and
Yeah.
how you look. You're
I
sweaty.
traumatized
you're
fucking
red.
Axel. Okay, so
Yeah.
I couldn't even imagine a kid being in
So
there.
I don't know. I mean,
I think it depends on the mom and the kid.
It
yeah.
does.
It's so interesting because some of the people that were answering to the post like were L&D nurses, and they're like, oh yeah, like we often have siblings that are in the room for the entire process, and feel free to do whatever makes you comfortable. And I was like, oh hell no.
I mean,
See,
for
that's-
sure, do
that's
whatever
my
makes you
answer.
comfortable.
Yeah.
But
It's
personally, I
hectic.
wouldn't.
I
It's
wouldn't
like-
either.
Labor is hectic. There's already a lot of people in there already. Like there's a lot of people in there, and it's just like, I know I don't want to traumatize my kids. I know that
Yeah.
you don't know how it's gonna end. Zane came out not crying because he had the cord wrapped around his neck. Like I don't want.
Mhm.
I was traumatized, and I didn't even know what was
That
going
can
on. I
be
just
scary.
didn't hear he
It's
was.
scary.
Yeah,
I didn't
and
hear him
that's
crying.
Yeah. That's
And
the
you don't
other
have the
part of
time to
it.
explain to them why
Yep.
you're doing all this shit. What if you have to go in for an emergency C-section?
That's what I was gonna say.
You don't have the time to sit there and explain to your kids, I'm gonna be
All right, I'll
okay.
be back.
Honey,
I
It's
think
fine.
that's
Cut
why
me
you would have to
open.
explain all of these things in advance.
That could happen.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
but still, in the moment, it's jarring.
It
I
is
mean,
scary.
I mean, you never plan for things to go wrong. Obviously,
Yeah,
like
you
for me,
don't.
I was in labor for 36 hours, and then all of a sudden, heart rate was dropping. Emergency
Mhm.
C-section right now. So imagine if other people were like other kids were in the room while they were like, getting me all the medications and stuff, like in a rush to take me to the OR. Like I can't even imagine having a kid experience that. Like see.
Especially
what
when you're
going
not
through.
going to be home after delivery to like help comfort
That's gonna
them.
mess you up.
But it all depends on the parent. Like you said, it all depends on the parent and the child,
And the
whatever
kids
you feel.
and how mature they are.
Yeah,
and,
do what
I mean,
you
they
feel is
take
best.
health. I took health when I was 15.
Yeah, we take health in
and
high
they
school.
showed like the labor videos and stuff. So I mean,
I think,
but it's just completely different when you're right there and you're seeing it all happen.
Well, my next baby, God willing, I'm going to have it home and I'm going to put it on YouTube.
Damn,
so you could just show my
BDBU content,
show
baby.
Taryn's video right there.
Yeah. Stay
That's right.
tuned.
Stay tuned.
A whole docu-series? We're going to start producing docu-series,
No,
baby.
she's going to do a YouTube
We're
live.
gonna go live.
Yeah.
Tell me I
follow
won't.
us. Make sure we have enough followers so we can go live on YouTube. Right?
You don't even need to dare me.
YouTube.
I'm doing it.
Oh my gosh. I want to be in the room while
I'm here for it, Taryn.
Yeah.
I will be there coaching
Okay.
you through the phone.
Do
I'll
it.
be there to coach you through the
I'll be
phone,
there in
but I don't know if
person. You're
I
not
could
that
do
far.
it personally on YouTube because I'm just
Taryn is
I'm
so
shy,
secure.
Okay.
Because that is the most vulnerable a woman
It
can
is.
be. You have the when you're pushing. My child's mom. As it's commonly the women poop, right? Like they shit.
Yeah.
Like would you
Yeah.
really want your kids to see their mom at their most?
At their
Oh
worst.
my God.
I do. Like, if my kids are okay seeing it, yeah, I do. Because I want to normalize childbirth and like what your body goes through. But not only that, but like, it's such a beautiful
It is.
thing that
It
you're
is.
doing.
You
You
Like,
don't
it
realize
is.
it's beautiful
Like-
until after.
No.
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
maybe I
There's-
think about it that way.
There's nothing
but maybe
beautiful
other
about
people
it when
don't.
you're there.
Hell no. Fuck no. No.
Like,
no,
I think
no.
once you're holding the baby, you're like, wow, that was
This came
beautiful.
out of
But in the
me.
nitty gritty of it, no,
You be like,
that
get
shit
this
is.
damn baby out me.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. It's
I'm about
so
to fuck
bad.
somebody up in here.
Fuck up the dude that got you into that predicament.
Right.
For real.
Period.
And then
Period.
you don't want your kids to be like, when they're all pissed off at you, that's why you shitted on yourself when you were having
Or telling
Shitty
stories.
ass.
Telling stories to friends and family like I saw this and blah blah blah. Oh
Yes.
god.
Well,
So
the
that's
worst
why you
thing I
have to know your
ever
kids.
did is tell my kids that like I had to get stitches after Delaney was born because when Delaney acts up, Scarlett will just be like, and that's why you got a big head and you tore your mom's vagina.
Damn.
No.
And this is why you do not have your kids in the delivery room.
or tell them about it, apparently.
Yeah.
Can't tell them about it either.
And don't tell them
Shit.
stories.
I regret telling Ari about
They will,
periods.
they will blackmail you.
I know. I've been starting to talk to Zanaya about it because she keeps calling my pad my diaper. Oh, you're
Damn, not a
diaper.
diaper.
like I'm an old ass lady. I don't know, but do what you feel is comfortable. If that's what you want to do, if that's what's in your heart, we support it. I just
100%. I wouldn't either.
Me either. But I can't wait for Terrence.
Right.
I'm gonna
I
have
can't wait to be there for Terrence.
She's putting it all out there.
Mhm.
I'm gonna share it
Yeah.
on Facebook.
Maybe I'm gonna put it behind a
Hey.
paywall soon.
I was about to say, color me there. If we're all gonna get a cash out for it. Color me there.
That'll be our
I'm
time
gonna
to
have
go to
Delaney in the
Colorado.
background doing audio description.
That's hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
I can just see that.
Make sure you
my
got
God,
good
I
lighting.
see the head. Like
Oh, yeah. Start getting your lights and your
Mhm.
tripod and all
Oh,
that.
yes.
Yeah.
You know?
I'm gonna put some twinkle lights up in my bedroom.
Oh yes.
Make
I'm
sure
here
she
for
gets
it.
your good side. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
She's gonna be in
Damn.
full glam.
Right.
I think that is enough. We are in rare form today.
Is it a full moon again? No.
this has been a really fun episode. Thank you for listening once again. We appreciate you. We love you. And comment, like, subscribe, share with your friends, families, grandmas, whoever.
Well,
Thank y'all.
not your grandma. Don't share.
Maybe your grandma.
Your grandma might be kinky. She might appreciate some of this.
Oh dear.
Not the kinky grandma.
Gertrude.
Trudy might like it. You don't know what Ethel listens to. Okay. All right,
Just
we
need to go
out,
to bed.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.